What's up, buddies? It's Concert Buddy, aiming to fire a quick video. And by quick, I mean I'm really going to try to be quick. Went to my local record show over the weekend and picked up a couple little bitties. I was pretty pumped about, and I found, not at the record show, but outside of the record show, I picked up a Grail, so I'm dying to talk to you guys about it. Cue that lever. Let's get into it now. So my local record show takes place, I think 6 times a year, which is a lot. So sometimes there's some redundancies, but I always try to go when I can. If nothing else, it's a good social thing. I run into so many awesome people in the vinyl community here locally. Get to at least communicate with them, check in, see what's going on, talk records, talk music, which is always fun. But this time my son was actually the pusher of the buttons. He's getting into vinyl in a hardcore way here lately, and he was kind of asking me the next time there's a record show if he could go.
How about that?
I mean, it's twisting my arm, right? So anyway, we went. But if you saw, well, first of all, if you're new to the channel, thanks for checking in. Please hit the like, subscribe, all that kind of housekeeping stuff. It really helps my channel get out there to the masses. Sometimes I feel like I'm in YouTube jail. Wrongly accused. But anyway, so housekeeping over. But if you saw a recent video I did about my vinyl resolutions, maybe I'll put up here. I talked about being more intentional in what I'm bringing in my collection and more quality over quantity. So in years, months, record shows past, I would spring on deals for cheapies, $1, $2, $5 records. So I'm trying not to do that. And this record show, I did a pretty good job of it. I only pulled 3 records. 3 records, which is, it's not a record. I've gone to the show and actually walked away with nothing before, so it's not the all-time record, but pretty close. But it felt good to be more intentional and more focused and really pull good stuff in. So what I get, let's get into it.
Hello. Yeah? I'm here for the gangbang.
All right, so first record I pulled is actually a duplicate. This is an upgrade copy from me. This is the soundtrack to the movie from, I believe, 2000 called Any Given Sunday. It's an Oliver Stone movie about football. It's got that great speech for Al Pacino as like the head coach, and Cameron Diaz. There's a lot of star power in it. But the reason I like this soundtrack so much is there's some really decent hip-hop tracks in here. There's a great song by LL Cool J called Shut 'Em Down, which was probably before LL started doing TV and getting a little, let's say soft, but he's just going in a different direction. I'll put it at that. But there's stuff all over the place. There's a Godsmack song on here, POD, Mobb Deep, Missy Elliott, Kid Rock, America's favorite Hoosier, Kid Rock. But anyway, this is an upgrade copy. As you can see, it's sealed. Boom. So cheap price, sealed, upgrade copy. Had to bring it home. Can you believe I'm showing you this video? See what I did there? Hashtag dad jokes. This is Cher's album, Believe. This is a Believe.
That's so funny. Last time I heard that, I laughed so hard I fell off my dinosaur.
It came out, I think, in the early 2000s. And I got a vinyl treatment not until recently, I think 2019-ish. And then a reissue, maybe 21. I saw this when it first came out, but I'm not a massive Cher fan. Obviously, the title track is auto-tune placed dance club hit. But when I was at the show, I saw it. It comes in this really interesting foil cover. So cosmetically and aesthetically, it stuck out to me. And when I checked on Discogs, it's actually going for, surprisingly, like $40. I got this for $14. So I figured, why not? I can take a flyer, and if it sounds like junk, or if I know somebody who would prefer to have this in their collection over me, and happy to work out trade, that kind of thing. So glad I scored this one. So the big hitter for this show was I found a copy. There was a dealer, or a seller, I should say, that had 90s and 2000 stuff, and he had some, actually, pretty good selection. He said he was from Kansas City, wasn't a professional seller, like he didn't have a shop or anything, but he had a couple of Stone Sour records. This one is Come Whatever May, Stone Sour, if you didn't know, is kind of like a side project. Actually, it was the original band that Corey Taylor from Slipknot was in, and then Slipknot was, I think, a side project of Stone Sour. Obviously blew up and got a lot of acclaim and a lot of airplay on alternative music in the 2000s, and then they kind of, or at least Corey sunk back in, however you want to say it, back into this project. This is, I believe, their second album. It's got, really, to me, the best tracks. It's got Silly World. It's got, what's the one? Through Glass, which is a nice little ballad song. And then my personal favorite is Made of Scars. I really enjoy that track. It's a hard-hitting rock track. This came out, it didn't come out on vinyl originally when it was released in, I think, 2006, 2007 time frame. But in 2016, they released over in Europe on this kind of gold, brown, marble, what have you color variant. They've released it a couple other times since, but negotiated a nice price with this seller, and I was happy to add this one to my collection. And this is the kind of stuff, quite honestly, going back to my New Year's vinyl resolutions, this is the kind of stuff I want to go to shows with an open mind, things that aren't on my want list that would be really cool to add to the collection, and this one hit all the marks. So, so far so good, New Year's resolutions. All right, Grail City, guys. I know I said I was going to try to buy less online, and that's true. And part of what made me really lean in on that and really hone in on that is New Year's Eve night. It really gangbusters event. My wife and I pretty much sat on the couch and watched TV. We binged that White Lotus show and, watched the Miley and Dolly thing, blah, blah, blah. But far cry from 10, 15, 20 years ago. Regardless, I was record shopping on one of my devices that I'm prone to do, and I found a seller online that had this record at a pretty decent price. So I got talking to him, and the long and the short of it is I wouldn't say a steal of a deal. I got a really great deal on this record. This is obviously Marilyn Manson, Antichrist Superstar. This came out in 1996 originally, but the vinyl originally came out in 1998. This is a UK pressing. There's two different pressings. One has this white label like that, and the other one has like a devil, like a lightning bolt, like red and black kind of thing. But anyway, this thing goes for a gem, a mint, I think as the kids call it. So I was able to work out literally like half, even more, maybe 60% off what this normally goes for. So it was one of those things where, yes, I want to find more of this stuff in the wild, but I kind of had to strike while the iron is hot. So after I bought this, I was like, yeah, man, but how much more fun would it have been to find this in the wild and find this for a good price? Now, getting those two things to line up sometimes isn't mutually exclusive, but anyway, this is a Grail. I've had this on my list for, goodness, 8 to 10 years, and I got, I think, Mechanical Animals last year. So, this isn't a referendum or an acknowledgement or any kind of thing about some of the behaviors Mr. Manson has been accused of over the years, but good music right in my wheelhouse, at 90s, 2000 rock that I really enjoy a lot, and happy to add this to the collection. Boom, Grail. And buddies, that's all she wrote. Game over. Hopefully this was a quick one. I will find out in the edit chamber just how quick I've made it. But I appreciate you watching. As always, thank you for spending your most valuable commodity and your time, putting eyes on this, eyes on the channel, subscribing, all that good stuff. I do really appreciate it. What do you think about these pickups? Anything cool? Anything make you drool? Anything just like, meh? What have you guys picked up? I love hearing in the comments below. Please tell me if you guys got anything that really fired you up, excited you in the past week or so. But until then, when you get the chance, just spin it. See you soon, buddies.
Well. How the turntables...
Well, we out of time.